Welcome to the Talkin Trash Addiction Recovery Podcast. We suffered in silence. Now we recover out loud.
Place, child.
Welcome home, Talkin Trashers, and the channel for 6 o'clock news at 11. I'm your anchor, Who Flung Pooh, coming to you live from the Arlen, Texas Waffle House and Propane Services. Top story we are following tonight. Sadly, the inventor of the camera lens passed away earlier this week. Rest in peace. Zoom in. Good evening, Talkin Trashers! Welcome to episode 227. We got a special guest sitting in the wings, Mark Condon, not Condon. And now to a man who thought the word shuttlecock meant Air Force One, Timmy Snyder!
Shuttlecock, Air Force One. Yes, I did.
I get it.
I want to say so many things about planes right now, but nobody would care. Here we are, Talkin Trash, episode 227. We do a lot of stuff around here. We try to, keep it light, have a few laughs, be loud, and because addiction is very serious and it sucks. So let's have some fun. What's going on out in the world out there? I don't know. We do our daily reflapjacks. Our preamble, we could do that.
Come on.
What's going on with Tim?
Huh?
Tim can't get all this stuff ready, and he doesn't know what's going on. All right, I'm good.
Facebook
preamble. No, I.
Did you
Yep.
Recover out loud.
This is our humble broadcast, where ethics and personal anonymity are of the utmost importance. We run this podcast as an act of service to those whose lives have been affected by addiction. We don't do it for profit or notoriety. We place principles before personalities. We benefit from this podcast just as much as anyone else. We all work programs and choose to sacrifice our own anonymity to spread the word that recovery is possible. We do this thing in an attempt to show, as living examples, that no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. That's the 9th step promise. It's our creed we abide by here on Talkin Trash. We feel called to uphold AA and NA principles. We firmly believe that you can only keep what you have by giving it away. Please join us in a moment of silence, followed by the Serenity Prayer.
God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
All right, so here's where I have a little fun. We have a couple laughs, and we do this. We meet the team of King of the Hill. What's up? So... All right, King of the Hill, guys. Here we are. It is. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. This isn't
That's
working.
okay.
That's okay.
So
That's
how?
okay.
What is? I asked you guys a disease before. a disease before. I asked you guys a question before. The question was, it's today's question. We're going to do a question every show. How did your disease manifest itself today? So think about that for a minute, boys, and we'll answer that after we meet the team. All right, first on deck, Bradley Mansfield, Dotery. Bradley's 1266 days clean. He is a barber. He is highly allergic to macadamia nuts and speaks fluent French. He's Cajun.
Cajun.
And the neighbor, Rusty Shackelford, or Dale Gribble, as he's called, 1124 days clean. Owner and operator Dale Dead Plug, 2 DUIs on a riding mower. He's a conspiracy theorist, so we see eye to eye there. He speaks Russian and he can drive a tank, so pretty impressive, Rusty Shackelford. Jimmy Leibel, oh my God, Jimmy Leibel, Jim Leibel. He sells propane accessories, of course.
I'm full of gas.
Jimmy is 1696 days clean, very fun. He works here at Talkin Trash. His OnlyFans is Canadian 69 Bacon. Oh, he loves his ladybird.
Katie Bird. He's sitting right here.
Hi, Katie.
Last but definitely not least, Will Howard. Boom, Will Douglas Howard. Will's 1031 days clean, which is great. We love him. He's not going to be here tonight. He's the Texas Ranger, but little did we all know, he is an accomplished bluegrass.
Hey, yo, man, I'm going to go now. I'm going to take a verse right now.
Blue moon up, Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna prove untrue. Blue moon up, Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's gonna let me blue. Blue moon up, Kentucky, keep on shining.
So, I don't know why we do anything we do around here. Talkin Trash is brought to you by Alamo Zero. Same great taste. That's all I got. Oh, there's that.
What are you talking about?
Oh boy.
So you only get to be episode 227 once. And
Just once.
My mom was like, "Is that racist?" And I was like, "Good question, Mom." And we all talked about it. I grew up. I don't know about you guys, but I grew up. We would watch Night Court or something, and 227 would come on right after. And 227 was like the theme music would always play. You'd be bumping around the house like no place like home, and I didn't watch it. I don't know the characters, but that is a nostalgic thing for me. So very very fun. 227. So let's go around the room and see how everybody's doing. What's up, boys?
Bradley, go.
Yeah, boys. Just I'm coming off night shift, so the question that you asked earlier, I'm going to have to answer for yesterday because I've only been up a few hours today. I haven't had enough time in the day to fuck the day up yet.
I've just started, buddy.
Hey, that's what I mean. I'm still on bacon and eggs mode here. So
yep. Well, that's good. I'm usually at that too.
So far, so good. The day's been good. Got up, hung out with the dog, did some shit around the house that needed to get done because I got a couple days off, and happy to be back. Guess who's back? Back again. Brady's back. Tell your friends.
So, Brad's back. Oh, your wife is with our best friend Jennifer, is she not? Over in the other side of the country.
I don't think they're together today, but they will be shortly. Yeah.
They will be. King of the Hill. Did you guys watch King of the Hill, or was that before your time?
No.
I mean, you knew it was there, right? But like,
I watched periodically. You know what I mean? I know what it's about, and I know who the people are, but I wouldn't say I was a dedicated King of the Hill guy.
Me neither. King of the Hill came on after The Simpsons, and I was a dedicated Simpsons guy. That's what you did in 1996 at 6 o'clock at night. You watched The Simpsons. And then
but you know what's funny? But you know what the funny thing is, and I know enough about King of the Hill, and I do this quite a bit in my own life where I would relate shit to my recovery and how recovery works and shit. So King of the Hill, for example, those 4 buddies, they're all different. Every one of them has different personalities. They're all fucking whatever, but they still accept each other for who they are. You know what I mean? So so when we got talking about the King of the Hill, especially the last couple of days, seeing some of the posts, I relate some of the stuff. I know that sounds stupid, but I relate some of that because there's them 4 guys on King of the Hill. Not one of them are alike, but they're all best friends and they all accept each other. So pretty cool.
And that's why I choose things like this. I get my balls busted a lot for doing a lot of AI and stuff. Let me tell you something, people. I'm gonna be real with you right now.
Real.
Our AI is a tool, and it is honed on talking trash. We're not AI. We are AI used to have fun. And why wouldn't we? Because it'd be stupid if we didn't.
Exactly.
But at the same time, we everything we do has a purpose. Everything we do has meaning here. Every little thing you see on the screen is there for a reason. And keep your eyes peeled because Timmy does a lot of fun things everywhere. All right, so let's try the sound effects. Do you hear it?
Plan for tonight.
So when we watch the show later on, you'll hear the sound effects.
This
it'll
one?
be ridiculous. Well, I didn't think of doing live sound effects.
I'm not gonna tell you what I thought that sounded like.
It didn't work. Still doesn't work. We gotta lick it.
Read our
Daily Reflections is an AI-driven enterprise of some sort. It's not ours, but we like you long time. Let's read Daily Reflapjacks here on the Talkin' Trash Pod Flaps.
This is the moment I break through.
Oh yeah. All right,
Jimmy.
kids. Let's sit comfortably in those chairs or sofas or wherever the hell you're sitting. For July 29th, your Daily Reflapjack is Anonymous Gifts of Kindness. As active alcoholics, we are always looking for a handout in one way or another. The old 12 Traditions Illustrated. Ooh, page 14. Never heard that one before.
Right? I know.
The challenge of the 7th step is a personal challenge. It's reminding me to share and give of myself. Before sobriety, the only thing I ever supported was my habit of drinking. Now my efforts are a smile, a kind word, and kindness. I saw that I had start carrying my own weight and had to allow my new friends to walk with me because through the practice of the 12 steps and 12 traditions, I've never had it so damn good. Yeah.
Anonymous Gifts. What does it mean to you, boys?
Okay, well, I think it kind of relates to, especially for the podcast, like giving away our experiences freely, right? And plus our guests, bringing people on and helping people we'll never probably ever meet, you know? You look at the connections that have sprouted from this. You got Bethany talking to Jenny, talking to Angie, talking to all these people.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's amazing. And this is something that's created up 226 episodes ago. and it's supporting the newcomers through shared experiences.
Yep.
And recovering, it begins with that, first of all, accepting help, right?
Right.
And it's
so if
like,
somebody gives you an anonymous gift, you need to accept it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we don't walk alone. And get the advice from your counselors, your peers, your sponsors, whatever, treatment staff. Just listen. Take the old cotton bat out of you know where and stick it somewhere else, right?
Yep. And yeah, I know you're a little bit more of a philanthropist than most, and I'm not gonna blow up your spot, but like, I mean, I know you're the kind of person that has the ability to actually give physical money to a cause or a person or whatever. Have you ever done that and been regretful because you didn't get what you wanted out of it, or have you ever learned a lesson from something like that?
Oh God, yeah.
I have.
Like early in recovery, my buddy Joey, the first guy I met at Where It Was Guy.
Oh yeah,
and of course he laid coil too, just like Bradley. And hey buddy, I need some money to pay for this. And it was like, oh, 8 ball, and like it was just, I'm done. And he actually called me this week. I didn't answer. You just
listen.
You learn. You have to learn these lessons, as Will would say.
The reason this show works is that regular people are drug addicts now too. Drug addicts are no longer just junkies. It's not the 80s. This isn't Nancy Reagan. This shit is different.
It's fucking everywhere.
It's everywhere. So, we have a responsibility to come on here and share our experiences free of charge because, we made people go through that shit free of charge. It's I don't know. Every once in a while, I hear your growth and your perspective on things, and I latch onto that shit. So I hope other people are doing the same. There is some serious knowledge going around with this show. Speaking of which, I do have to. I gotta divert real quick. I've had something go on with just in general, just things I'm hearing out in the world from sober livings and people in recovery and shit. There is a problem in early recovery with medication. Now, we are not doctors. We are not medical in any way. We do have a medical person on staff for shit like that. Not us, but what I can tell you is all the things I'm hearing is I've been through everything, every single scenario. I've abused my own drugs. I've accidentally taken too many. I've just in early recovery, you will find yourself if you're intended to get medical help because you feel like shit, everything hurts. So I'm going to make this as quick as possible, and then we'll bring Mark in. But I gotta just say it so it's out there. Yeah. These are things they will give you in detox or in your residential treatment, and maybe send you on your way with a prescription with Flexeril, Trazodone, Seroquel, Gabapentin, Clonidine, and Vistrol. Now, here's what you need to know. I'm going to be very quick. The dangerous ones here are Flexeril and Seroquel and Gabapentin. But Flexeril and Seroquel, you take, I will play. This happened to me. I was doing good. This is 4 or 5 years into recovery in a sober living. I was put on Seroquel. I was put on a couple things while I was in treatment. This is like day 45. I would take my meds and forget I took them, and then take another one and start this process of insanity. Seroquel will do that, especially combined with Flexeril. I lost my bed in a sober living because of that once. I also lost my bed in a sober living because I relapsed in the parking lot of the rehab because they handed me all my drugs, and I'm like, I don't know what these are, but I'm gonna take every one of them because I want to die. So like, there's a whole thing where like I've relapsed in the parking lot of recovery centers. I wrote this down so I won't be so fucking loose. The system isn't perfect. We find ourselves in crisis. We hopefully get treatment and get properly medicated for 30 days. In those 30 days, we arrest the disease, but we also get put on a bunch of meds that we shouldn't be taking control of dispensing at day 31. But that's how it is. So that's why I'm here to say this. The truth is, you'll find yourself in transport with a bag full of medication. You have your phone. The first thing you're Googling is how many of these can I take without dying? The truth is, a few times after that shit and going through that, I made a mistake accidentally in a sober house. So wandering around a sober house at 3 a.m. going in people's rooms is not a great look. So unfortunately, this is a lesson I learned too late. But like we said, it is our job to relay that information. Early in recovery, you're going to see all kinds of different meds. Just be careful. And if you're looking to abuse your meds, they're going to do it. This stuff is also very useful in recovery. In a successful recovery, these things are super important. The other side of that, and this is the end, and I'll stop. Psych meds. They'll send you off with like maybe be on like Paxil, and maybe they'll try Wellbutrin, depending on how fucked up you are, and depending on how many times you go through this process. So me going through this process 5 times, they're like, all right, let's try something different this time, which I used, and that is there for you. But these drugs, Flexeril, Seroquel, great for sleep, also great to burn your house down. Gabapentin, Gabapentin, great for pain. Thank God I have it. But, take 9 of them and something else happens. Clonidine's blood pressure medication, very useful. They won't send you with it. Vistrol is basically Benadryl stupid. So just if you're really taking your recovery seriously, you're going to delve into the medical side of it. You're going to take what's available. You're going to talk to the doctors, tell them how you're feeling, and reciprocate by taking the meds they put you on and being aware of the time frame and all that stuff. Problem is, we get our meds at day 31, walk out of the rehab, and it is a temptation. We don't know why, but it is. And I fell to that twice. And I've had this problem 10,000 times. I've been on every drug you can think of. Be careful with the ones I mentioned and try to use them for recovery because they're great for recovery, But
And-
we're assholes and we're addicts and we don't sedate ourselves well.
And
So
one
that's
thing,
it.
one thing I want to touch on with that, Tim, just because I'm in a little bit of a different boat. Like,
Please do.
if someone's coming out of recovery or whatever, don't be scared to go see a doctor or a therapist, because at the end of the day, you might not need some of this stuff, and you
100%.
might. So you might or you might not. But don't
Yep.
just think you do and go take it if you don't need it, neither.
And that's
Like,
that's great advice.
do you know what I mean? So
I did that.
But I think but that's the problem. I think a lot of people get out of recovery and they have that option, so they just do. And I'm not saying don't, because a lot of people do need that. That's what I'll 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
But get a medical advice. Go see a doctor. Go see somebody who's smarter than all of us. You know what I mean?
Ice cream man.
And go figure, but go figure that shit out, because you may need it, you may not. But then find the avenue that you need to take.
It's very hard to medicate addicts because we can't be trusted. We especially with things that sedate us, like alcohol or Xanax or whatever. We can't be trusted with that shit. You know what I mean? We take
Exactly,
one.
right?
Well, shit, I'll just take one more, and whatever. So like that shit is not on the table for you, people in recovery. I hate to break it to you, but this is pretty much all they're going to give you as far as anxiety, either visceral or Buspar. That shit's nonsense. Buspar, yeah, where is it? There it is. Anxiety med, you get one. Sorry, so you're gonna have to figure out another way to deal with your anxiety. And psych meds do that, like SSRIs, SNRIs. But that's it for our medication thing. We will circle back to that at a later date.
Medical advice. I'm going to stress that on a good enough. Medical advice.
When Liz comes on, it's do your own homework. I mean, your own doctor. Julie says, I'm understanding a lot better about addiction by attending your podcast, and it's helping me. Merci, indeed.
Merci.
Hi, Julie.
We love you, Julie. We love you.
I mean, we know, people watching. There's treatment centers watching. I would love to have heard that. I actually would have rewound that 10,000 times. They'd been like, Tim, stop with the Spotify and the TV. I would have watched that 5,000 times before leaving treatment. So I tried to just mash all that in there, and Brad's disclosure at the end is perfect, because there was a Tim that was like, I'm a junkie, I need all the drugs I can get, and like I tried that avenue, and it didn't work, obviously, because it didn't treat the problem. It was treating symptoms. So now I go in there and say to your doctor, I had a really bad childhood, I was molested, I was beaten, whatever your fucking story is, tell them that. And they will come back and treat you as such. You go in there
and honestly tell them how you feel, like what's going on with your body and all that shit. Like, so tell them your past, what happened, and how you feel in the present at this moment right now, right? Because all that will help diagnose what you need, right?
Yep.
So yeah,
it's a new concept for us being as addicts, is being honest. And we're everything's changing. We're getting clean. Our lives are fucked up. Everything changes for us. Medication is very hard to deal with. So Mark has been very patient backstage.
Yes.
We real quick, Tony Romo, oopsie. He had a Tony. I tried to do a funny title, but I blew it. Tony hit no cocaine involved, not that I know of. I tried to do like Tony Roman Coke. Nah. You blow it, Tim. Anyway,
I get it.
How
he got
did you ever
arrested
get a
in
helmet over those ears, man.
In Bethany's neck of the woods. No wonder he got arrested. He's in Packer territory. He got arrested. In the video is embarrassing, and I won't play it here. But I highly suggest going and watching it and analyzing it and seeing the disease in full-fledged action. Full-fledged afford. You got to see this guy fucking make an absolute asshole out of himself. And I feel bad for him, but I don't. Because I did. So
figure it out, right?
Figure it out. Yeah, that's great advice. Let me see. There's other stuff going on. Real quick, we're good. Upcoming guests, Jimmy. Read our upcoming.
We have, of course, we got Mark Condon tonight. We got Tommy Wilkes coming in on Sunday, coming in hot, followed by Nick Robinson. Blair Stepp returning on the 9th. Phyllis K on the 12th, Larry F on the 16th,
Air dog.
Liz McKeenan PM on the 23rd, Doug Matthews on the 26th, and Tina C.
She's a full house. She's a full house, baby.
Anyway,
she's a fuller.
1-1-0.
So we have Tina.
Yes.
Timothy, I repeat.
Timothy. My mic is muted. My mic is muted. I am back. Hello. Tina C, she'll be on at the end of August. She's one of our oldest friends. And 10 years is like the biggest deal I can think of, other than 20 and 30. But I'm not
She's
going to live that
amazing.
long. She's amazing. She's a friend.
Good for her.
She's
I love
always
her.
there. She's one of those people. She's a trasher for life. And if you find
Has she been a guest before, Tim?
Oh yeah.
3 times. Yep.
Okay.
Way back in the day. Way back in the
Yeah,
day. And if
nice.
you find yourself in a self-defense situation,
That's my purse! I don't know you!
always works. Always works. That's my purse. I don't know you, and you're good to go. All right. So who is Jim? You got Mark Condon's deets at the ready?
Well, I texted you on.
I know, but like I do other
49 years old from. Oh, it's not Okotoks. Where the hell is he? He's in somewhere in Alberta. Adri. And he'll be. And he always wears sunglasses. I've never seen this dude without sunglasses. So this will be a first. Yeah.
He's got
So
beautiful eyes. Beautiful eyes.
Well, I
he's
want to
a-
see them beauty pies. Yeah.
He's a new guy. He just celebrated 5 years clean, actually, and
Yeah, boy.
he's very involved. I have the feeling like he needs us as bad as we need him right now. So let's.
I want to say something before he comes on because
Do
it's
it.
pretty. Sorry. Well, so we talk about connections and like Jenny knowing, like talking to Angie and Bethany and all that. Like, so
Yeah.
here's an example. Mark is in between the ages of my sister and myself. We all went to school together, and for some reason, and I don't even need to know how or why, we've reconnected between from talking trash or talking on Facebook. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool how this recovery circle works, and you don't even see it coming, and boom, you meet another good friend who probably has the same type of. Yeah, I'm thankful that Mark has come back into my life. It's been awesome.
Yeah, this kind of stuff kind of reassures what we're doing. It just kind of makes us feel good. Let's meet our guy finally, Mark Condon, ladies and gentlemen. You're on
There
mute,
he
Mark.
is, the man.
Unmute yourself, Mark, and
There we
flip
go.
your phone that way if you can.
There you go.
Back online, baby. Back online.
But yes, Brad, why don't you? I'm just going to impromptu this. Why don't you take the interview and start it with Mark while I do stuff in the background? Just
Yeah, boy.
you got this. You got
No
it.
problem
buddy.
at all. First of all, Mark, I want to thank you from all of us for joining us, man. And we've noticed that you've been on the podcast and being very, very active in the comments and stuff like that, and we love that. So having you aboard and having you back into my life, Condon. I say Condon, that's what I used to call him in school. Mark. So like I said, Mark, when's the last time I've seen you, buddy? How long's it been? 25 years?
Wow.
At least
Right?
for sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
but it was probably out in the smoking pit next to the pool, to be honest.
or back on the tracks heading to the liquor store to get a fucking $7 bottle of wine.
One of those.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boons or goons. Yeah.
So you just celebrated 5 years clean. What was your drugs of choice, and what happened 5 years ago?
Well, to make a long story short, drugs of choice, DOC, which Jimmy educated me on. I'm not up on all the lingo.
He's like, what the hell is DOC? I'm like,
I know. I was like, oh shit, what did I do?
Your credit card number and your
What did I
do?
Last 4 years.
As long as you take one of the kids.
Exactly.
No, I cocaine and whiskey more than cocaine. But they kind of paired themselves nicely every once in a while.
Oh yes.
It's a good pairing.
Yeah, I
Pretty clear.
unfortunately what led me to that, I guess, was some stuff that happened way earlier in my life that I did not deal with properly.
Usually does.
Yeah, no, and you know what, like, and Brad knows this, and so does Jenny. The community that we come from, it's a very rural community, and back in the day when we were youngins and all that stuff, it was, it wasn't encouraged to talk about the bad shit that happened in the community or bad shit that happened to you or whatever. It was just suck it up, move on, and keep going, right? So
Sweep it under the rug. When did you start using? When did you? Start using and then realize you have a problem. Those two different dates.
started using liquor. I started using that at 14. Cocaine was actually quite a bit later. Actually, after I moved away from back home, was when I came out west. Got into rigs, worked oil patch for 4 years, and then got into civil construction and commercial, and it just escalated from there. So
yeah. Brad, can you speak to that environment?
Oh, baby, can I ever?
Imagine.
So yeah, same thing, Mark. I started drinking young. I think me and you've been drunk together if I look back on it. But anyway,
I remember you were drunk.
yeah, we were young, but definitely started drinking and using at a young age. For me, I started doing drugs really young. Like I think the first time I did blow, I was probably 14, to be honest, or if not younger. But
Boy.
I didn't realize I had an addiction or a problem until later in my life, right? So I'm only 3.5 years clean. Not only I'm 3.5 years clean, a strong
Damn
three and a
right.
half years clean.
Doing good.
Yeah,
Doing
boy.
good.
That one goes out to Steve because he gives me shit for saying it. But for me, once I got into the workforce out here, and I'm not making excuses when I say this, but there was some more money being made out here. The jobs that I was around, people were, so the
Yeah.
drugs were freely flowing a little bit harder, if that makes sense. So, and again, not making excuses because I made my own bed, but everybody I worked with was making $100,000 a year plus, you know what I mean? And they're 25, 30 years old. So no one didn't give a shit. You know what I mean? What are we doing? We work to get drunk and high and party. There's a lot of that mentality, right? So I fell into that hole pretty easily too. So
yeah, I think I want to just give you a few minutes to tell us your story. Tell us about Mark Condon and like who we want to get to know you. We also want to know what you did wrong. We want to know what you did right, and we want to know why you're here today, 5 years clean, when so many of us weren't able to get that. So I'm yielding the floor to Mark Condon. Mark, I just want to hear a little bit about your story, a little bit about your testimony, and then we'll take it from there. We'll do Q&A and do all that. But the floor is yours at the moment.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to throw any triggers out there at anybody, but when I was much younger, I was subjected to physical and sexual abuse, and it wasn't in my family. I had a great family, great upbringing. It was unfortunately a sport coach, and I wasn't the only one. And that is what it is. But yeah, so it went on for 3 years, and then finally that person moved away, and well, he's dead now. But yeah, long story short, yeah, no, it is. Honestly. Long story short, I didn't deal with it right. And again, like Bradley says, I'm not making excuses. I made my bed. I made that decision not to talk about it. I made that decision not to deal with it properly. And funny enough, like I was a really good functioning alcoholic. I dove into work, working with my grandfather and father and all this stuff. We were farming and stuff like that. So that was great. And then when I came out west, I just did the same thing. Unfortunately, in doing that, I dove too much into it and didn't deal with all the shit that was going on in my head. I started really using when other stressors in life, kids, money, work, marriage, all this stuff popped up. And then I started trying to make an identity for myself. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't have any self-confidence or self-worth. And drugs and alcohol gave that to me, right? It also gave me the speed to keep going because not knowing deep down, I was broken, right? It all finally came to a head. I did some really bad things, some things I am incredibly not embarrassed, ashamed of.
We all are.
And I think we talked. I think one of your guests or one of your
Larry,
staff,
Larry,
mentioned that the last podcast, I think it was. Yeah. So it all came to a head, and I committed some acts against people that I love and that love me, and unfortunately I burnt some bridges that couldn't be rebuilt, right? But I think and whether you believe in God, whether you believe in Buddha or whatever, somebody of a higher power gave my family and my friends the courage to confront me, and they held an intervention. I was lost, and I was abusing and just hurting people, and they gave me the option. They said, listen, we're going to do whatever it takes to get Mark back. You've always broke your back for everybody else, and now we're going to break our back for you. So
thank God.
And yeah, no, I mean, people ask me what is the greatest gift of sobriety, and it was the opportunity to participate in it for me. That's
good
what
answer.
keeps me going.
I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This guy. All right. So,
but yeah,
I mean, I like you already, but I'm biased. But like, we've all done shit. We all carry shame around. Actually, I carry guilt around. I don't carry shame around anymore. I've come to this place where like I'm not what I've done. I'm who I am. And like I hear that coming out of your voice. But this, I people come on and they kind of think they have to justify their existence. They have to explain why they let. None of that matters. We're just here to move forward together and be accountable. I can hear in your voice, and especially at 5 years, a lot of shit comes with that. Like, boys, what can you equate to Mark? Like, what can you? Not advice, but like, I just gave him advice.
I know. For me, like when we talk about the past and the guilt and the shame and all that stuff, for me, the first 6 months was fucking brutal. Like I thought I could never get out of that hole. You know what I mean? Like always living with the remorse of what I did and all that shit.
Right.
Right. And as time went on, like where I'm at right now for 3.5 years, like absolutely, I feel guilty for a lot of things I did. But guess what? Where I am today is where I'm supposed to be. So if as shitty as this sounds, I left some shrapnel along the way, and I apologize for that. But the person that Brad is right now, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I'm thankful every day for what I have. I have a beautiful family. I have a good sobriety. I have some fuck ups along the way. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to use or drink or anything like that, but my thinking shit comes back. But I do know this. If I were to sit there and stumble about everything that I used to do, that would take all the energy away of the focus that I have in front of me. Do you know what I mean? So I have to not only a fool trips on what's behind them, right? So for me, if I focus too much on what's going on behind me, that doesn't give me the energy to focus on what's ahead of me. So that's what recovery has taught me. So I try to use that as much as I can. I'm not saying it's perfected because it fucking isn't, but I try to tell myself that a lot because that's what I need to focus on. This way, I have to focus on what is ahead of me because I know what is ahead of me. Being sober and clean is a lot better than whatever the fuck is behind me.
Yeah. Hi, Tanya. So, I mean, I'll just say I'm not putting you on the spot, but like within the last week or so, you're struggling. I mean, I know I was 2 weeks ago. I had something happen. We all struggle, and for a while, this show some of us would come on here and hide our struggle and pretend like we're not struggling, put on a face, and it just didn't work right. So like when we're struggling on here, we make sure that we come on and we say what we're struggling about, be open about it. You're going through some shit. I don't know what you're going through, but I know you're going through some shit because. Yeah. And do you want to elaborate on that? How you feel? How we can help you? Just leave it to you.
I guess we should start as how you've already helped me, because people on this show, people that I'm looking at right now, have already reached out and helped me. Right? Full transparency. My family is dysfunctional, just like most, I guess. We all have, we all have our moments. But I've been dealing with something with one of my brothers. It got to a point where it started to set off triggers. It started to set off alarms. It started to set off feelings that I thought I had dealt with. I mean, for 5 years, I have but hadn't got to that point. Let me just start off with this. He's a really great kid. He's actually probably even smarter than me, but he continues to make dumb choices. And Oh no, totally. I mean, we all do it. I reached out and I saw the pain he was going through, and I saw a little bit of what I went through, looking at him, and I said, listen, if I can offer some advice, and I gave him advice, and I gave him money, and I gave him work, and I gave him this, gave him that, and every time I gave, I got taken advantage of, and it just got to a point where I had to walk away, and
good choice.
Sometimes,
some people on here, they openly said and openly gave me the same advice. You can only help somebody that wants to be helped, right?
Right.
If they don't want to do better or be better or be a better human, then lead a horse to water. I think you said this, Brad. Lead a horse to water, but you can't make a drink, right? So
It's a fine line, Mark, between like in the same last 10 minutes, you explained how your family didn't give up on you, and they're the reason you got help and you got treatment and all that. And now the situation's flipped, and you have to give up on a family member. Like, where does it stop? Like, I don't know where the answer. I don't know the answer to that, but like there is.
Can I touch on that too? Because when I hear
Please.
that, when I hear Mark say that, the first thing I think of, right? So first and foremost, when it's a really close family member, it's hard as fuck. And I'm not gonna say anything different about that. It's like, so it's different if it's a close friend, but if it's an actual sibling or a mother, or you know what I mean, like totally different ball game.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I know it's easy to say on paper, we need to take care of ourselves, but there's a fine line there too, because we can catch ourselves enabling as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so if we're giving them money and we're giving them jobs and we're doing this, what are we doing? Are we handing them a crutch to help? You know what I mean? So we have to check ourselves on that as well too, right? So there is a fine line on that one for sure. So I guess, and I'll say this to all the viewers, and I'm saying this for myself too.
I agree.
At the end of the day, when it comes to sobriety, like, I'm not near as selfish as I used to be, but when it comes to my sobriety and my triggers and my recovery, I am fucking selfish, because I have to take care of this guy so everything else around me can possibly be okay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm sick, I'll always be sick because I have the disease, and hello, look at me, hello. But my point is, I have to take care of Brad, and I have to stay clean, I have to stay sober, and I have to get my way of thinking to the best of my ability and my mental stability. And once I figure out myself, it's easier to help other people as well. And I'm just that's just my thought process. I'm not saying I got that shit dialed in, because I don't, but I think that way better than I used to.
You're saying it out loud in a public place. I mean, you obviously have come somewhere, but we're not here to like gauge where we're all at. We're all at different places, and it takes every different way to deal with this thing. What worked for this one won't work for that one. That's fucking how it works. So addiction is very tricky, and like I said earlier, with the medical side of it, it gets even trickier. But then and money fucking makes it all kinds of crazy when you're dealing with money and giving away money and enabling. But like me, I'm at the point where I'm like, I guess I'll let my loved one empty my bank account if that's what it takes for them to. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But like, there had to have been a point, and I'm sorry, Mark. I didn't pose my question to you right. I meant like, I feel for you. Like you felt that kind of empathy, and now you have to make a choice to cut it off or continue it. And like that's
it's just like Brad said. If we can't take care of ourselves, then we can't take care of anybody else, right?
Right.
It's number one rule, right? Whether it's in recovery, whether it's in normal day life, whether you have a disease or you don't have a disease, you have. I mean, look, you're on an airplane. What's the first thing they say to you in an event of emergency? Put your mask on first so you can help somebody else.
Yeah, right. Take care of yourself. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
And we come on here and we hear these stories, and it's the same story, but it's different every show, and every show is different. And we have we have a different experience every time we do this. And you come on, and you're instantly open about your childhood trauma. So what I'm seeing as a host or a friend or whatever is someone who has come far, but realizes he has a lot farther to go, and that's every one of us.
Everybody.
Yep. So like, kudos to you, dude. And like that coaching, child abuse shit is ridiculously bad. It fucks people up. And thank God you're here to say it happened to me. I'm stronger for it. There's a lot of people that don't get to that point. They fucking end it. Tony Gove, is that the dude I'm thinking of? Yeah, did you? I'm glad you missed, because I also tried a couple of times. It's a weird feeling to decide to take your own life and not succeed at it. And I afterwards, it's just like, what the fuck? So like, Tony.
So there's an example, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Tim, but there's an example. Oh shit, there's the sorry thing. Ah, fuck it. See what I did there? Anyway, my point is like, so we just talked about suicide, right? And it's a shitty thing that if you tried it twice, it didn't work. Bullshit. You know what? That is why it's supposed to happen that way. So somebody out there, again, I'm not playing the God card because I use my higher powers, my mom. I just know there's something out there stronger than me. So the reasons that it didn't happen is because you fuckers are supposed to be here to help people and do what you're doing right now, Mark, reaching out to people, telling your story, sharing people. You know what I mean? So you have a bigger purpose on life. Do you know what I mean? Because you're sharing your recovery, you're sharing your stories, and you're fucking helping people. So right there, buddy, like, boom. I love it.
You're doing great.
Exactly.
You're doing great. Let's take a look at this real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off, Mark. I just want to make sure everybody sees this. David Gove went through a similar issue. He was a hockey player for the Penguins and the Hurricanes, and just because he was abused by a coach, he fentanyl and overdoses. The story's horrendous, but I highly suggest look it up because it will change the way you think about coaching and what we do with our kids and all that shit. But I'll digress from that. Get back to you. I just that one hit me years ago. I was like, what the fuck, man? That's what my tie to it. I don't have any other tie to it other than that, thankfully. But Jimmy, what would you have to say to our new best friend, Mark Condon?
Mark, like just hearing, like I always say, you're hearing your our stories are similar, and talking about being a functioning alcoholic or someone. Yeah, totally, I get that, but. And witnessing firsthand and hearing your story, and of course, when it's your own flesh and blood, when it's one of your own family, you feel obligated, right?
Yep.
And I went through a similar situation with a fellow I met at Prairie Sky, and I lent him a lot of money, and it was all towards drugs, and it was getting to the point, well, my dealer's going to kill my family, and I'm like, dude, who put yourself into this situation? If you start participating in your own rescue, then we're going to talk. Until then, the bank of Jim is closed.
There's a good.
And I don't expect it, and I don't want the money back. Honestly, I pray for him every day, but I can't. Like Brad says, you can lead him to water, but you can't make him drink, right?
And that's part of your early recovery story, Jimmy. You were a mark for some fucking asshole, and
you know what? It was a lesson I had to learn, right?
Good.
Because I helped out several. But you know what? I don't put it in the chalk. Oh, I'm motherfucking doing this and that. I let it go. I just let it go because if I dwell on it too much, it's going to live in my head rent free. I can't afford to do that 100%. Because my addiction is still going to talk to me in my own voice. Sorry, Mark. And it's just you just have to work on yourself. And it sounds egotistical and selfish. No, it's not, because hey, you have to save yourself first before you can help anybody else.
Well, like you, Jimmy, you're great. You haven't left the show. You've been here for fucking 2 years. So like I've seen ups and downs, left and right, and you're doing great, dude. You're doing fucking phenomenal. I didn't have this ready, but I have to show it. Jennifer, it's on the Facebook. Jenny got her jersey. Yeah, girl. Nice. I didn't understand the 07, but I'm glad she's got it, and I love it, and she is gorgeous. What a winner!
It's a Mansfield thing.
I'm not sure about that. We have a lot going on around here.
Where's
these
my
days.
Chiro?
We ran out. Jimmy.
I got a question for Mark. I got a question for you, Mark. So you talked about, obviously doing some booze and drugs and some coke and some whiskey. I love my whiskey too. And then you had an intervention. And then you had an intervention. So I'm assuming your parents and your family and all that kind of come in and hey, Mark, I need to shut it down. So boom, there's that point. So there's that bottom, we'll say.
Right.
At that point, when you wanted to get sober, and I don't care if you went to recovery, you can tell me all that, but when you first got that notice from your family and intervention, what were your thoughts? Were you like, I'm doing this for me or I'm doing this for them? Where was your head at that point?
Because it was a psyche change. He went from me,
My first thought was how weak I must be to be this person. My second thought immediately was, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a type of person that goes to rehab. Not a fucking chance. I
got this.
Right? Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. There's no way. Right. but then to stand there in a room full of friends, family, and watch them all cry and basically beg me to, take this help. I don't know if it dawned on me or if I regrettably thought of it, but I said, if I'm making these people do this, then there must be something wrong.
Yes.
I was scared shitless. I was scared. I was, and I'm a grown man at this point, but I was literally pissing my fucking pants.
Good. Yep.
The day that my wife couldn't drive me to rehab because she couldn't bear to say goodbye or see me. And I had to get, one of the guys that was in the intervention to drive me there was probably one of the hardest days of my life, but probably one of the best days of my life.
Yep. Yeah. Agreed.
Right. So you
did go to a rehab. Sorry.
Okay.
I did. Yes. Yeah. No, I went to EHN here in Calgary, Northwest Calgary.
Okay.
I was there for 38 days.
That's great. And listen, awesome. I get it. Most people are like, I'm not that guy. But now these days, like I said, like people are finding themselves in different situations these days. So you had an intervention. It was like kind of reluctant, but like, if I'm doing this to them, there must be something. There's something that I don't understand. I'm just going to stop anyway, because obviously, and all of us that are in recovery, we've looked back and seen the people we hurt. And that's usually one of the most important things that keeps us sober is like, shit, I don't ever want to see my daughter in tears again. I don't ever want to spend Christmas in a rehab again. And so like for you to have that psychic change, that it didn't come at first. And I'm just narrating your story as I'm hearing it. It was desperation. It was your family's desperation. Mm-hmm. You met them where they were at, and then you just kind of went, and thank God. And so many people enter recovery in that way. Not many people are successfully doing drugs and being like, I think I'm going to stop doing drugs tomorrow, and I'm good. And that's not how it works. So like, obviously, like to have the you're a decent dude, right? To be like, fuck, I'm being selfish, but look what I'm doing to them. That is a big thing why people stop. And for you to have that. So here you are 5 years later, and you're going through something in your family. So like, I know it's hard now, and it sounds, nobody wants to hear it, but I'm grateful that whatever you're going through is happening now, because it's brought you into our lives. It's brought you more aware of your disease and your recovery and how important that is. And if you're like us, you're at the life or death spot. We know.
And you're strong enough in your recovery to be able to deal with this. So if this was 5 years ago, sorry, Mike.
I think, sorry, Brad. I don't think I'm not necessarily strong enough. I don't think that's the right word. I think I'm knowledgeable enough, and I'm smart enough, proud enough.
Yep.
And
So go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, Mark, I'm sorry.
I just think I was scared to admit that I had a weakness or that I had a disability, and it's not a disability. It's right. It's a difference. Okay,
we got it.
And I was able to admit that and imply or start to use the tools that I've learned and have been given to me for the last 5 years, which is communication, honesty, and support systems. Right. So.
Yeah. So there's a prime example, right? Though, so 5 years ago, for example, if you were still, I'll say fucked up, right? Because I was fucked up 5 years. But so say 5 years ago when you were still using and drinking, and you had to deal with the situation that you're dealing with now, would have been way different of a situation to deal with than what you are now. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by that, because you have that strength and you have those tools and you have the experience of some sobriety under your belt that you can cope with this situation night and fucking day, right? So, so as funny as that sounds to me, like I always look at these situations like, it's a bad situation, and I understand that, Mark, and we're all here for you, and everybody, all the viewers are too. So that's one thing you do have, and I hope you know that. But with that being said, as weird as this sounds, I'm thankful that you are in the situation you are right now to be able to mentally handle this and physically handle this, because you're in a stronger place than you were 5 years ago. Exactly. So be thankful for that. Not saying that you're not, but that's a good positive to take out of this situation, right? Because Mark's got this shit. You know what I mean?
Right? call it a test or call whatever. It's
Exactly.
no, sorry. It's a good checkpoint for me, I guess.
There you go. There you
Sorry.
go.
Go ahead, Jim.
We always have this.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like, if this would have happened like the day after you got out of treatment, you would have handled it totally different than now. And I always use the analogy. Okay, once you get diagnosed with your addiction, you come to terms with it. You return to where you were before you got all fucked up, but we become a better version of ourselves. We can handle situations that we couldn't handle us before. And that's the whole thing about addiction. Like, it's always going to be here. And you know what? I'm glad I have it because I can deal with life on life's terms, not on Jim's terms.
You're a better you.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. And I like life. And I find the challenges, I thrive for them. It's like, oh, here comes, bring it on. They're not always puppies and fucking rainbows, far from it. But I grow as a person. And I learned such great lessons. And the people that we meet, like a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, Mark Condon? Who the hell's that guy? Mark Condon. Hey, but no, seriously, like all the people that we meet in recovery, it's amazing.
We're like-minded, Jimmy, right?
Well, yeah. And like they always say, well, you're exactly, no, we're similar. You know, we have similar stories.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I love about it. And the 1,000 ways to skin a cat. Like, I'm not sure if you go to meetings or anything, but whatever's working for you, it's working. There you go.
You know, and funny enough, Jim, and sort of interrupt. I don't go to AA meetings. I did do Dharma for a while.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
But yeah, and so it's how to explain it? It's almost like a meditation. More Buddha type style recovery. It still has all the same fundamentals, but it has a little different atmosphere. If that makes any sense.
I got you. I love it. That's why I did. Yeah, it's great stuff.
But I will tell you my biggest support, and this is horrible to label him as this tool, is my stepfather. And Brad, you might know him, and I think Jenny might know him. Mr. Eaton. I don't know if you remember him or not.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So he's a recovering alcoholic as of, I believe, 35 years. Nice.
And I can remember to this day him picking me up from a sporting event, and I could just smell the vodka in the car. And as we're around the corner, you could hear the bottle cleaning underneath the seat. My mom was in Texas working, and he was back still in Nova Scotia with us. And I gave him not an ultimatum, but I very politely said, "Are you going to tell her or am I?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it." And he checked himself into rehab the next day and has been sober ever since.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Good for him, man. That's awesome.
I love that.
So there you go.
Brad. He's my, like, when I get into a tight spot, or if what I do for work is stress induced on a good day. If I need to vent or whatever, I just swing by his place or call him up and I'm like, "Hey, you want to go hit a bucket of balls or something?" Cool. We'll go talk.
Yep. So you know what you just said there. So people talk about AA and smart recovery, and there's a fucking million of them out there, and it doesn't matter which one but what you just said, right? You didn't have any program, but what you just said is the basis of every fucking program. Don't do it alone. Don't do it alone. Go talk to somebody and figure out what the hell is going on. So you just literally, Mark, said you've never been to a program, and you covered every fucking one on the planet right there with one sentence, because you said you reached out to somebody and you talked about it. Boom. That's what this recovery thing's about, I think, right? That's how I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
well, exactly.
It doesn't matter if you go to AA, fucking NA, all these other, like, again, I'm for all of them, because whatever works for that individual. But you did the right thing. You're talking to people, so nailed it. Nailed it.
Yep. And I can feel your I don't know. Just don't be so hard on yourself. And like I can feel that you are that way, and like maybe that's something to work on. I'm that way. I'm hard on I'm learning on that myself. But like, I can just hear in your voice that you are holding on to pain, and I get it. I am too. A lot of people, we all are. But isn't
that crazy about addiction? I think we all do that.
Well,
Same thing. It doesn't
right?
matter.
For me, you know what I mean? I actually think I'm a likable person, but there's days I fucking hate myself. You know, but you know what I mean? Like
I get it.
I am my excuse me,
Well
I am
said,
my
though,
own
Brad.
worst enemy. I'm my own worst enemy. You know what I mean? Like I'm my own worst critic. I'm my own worst enemy. I'm my own worst skeptical. You know, so you're not alone. If you are in that case, Mark, I know you're not alone because I'm my own
Brad,
worst
is
enemy.
it day to day? Is it like one day it's like does it just happen or just like that's my experience.
I don't know if it's that crazy right now with me roller coaster. I think what happens with me, like, so again, I don't want to make this about me or anything. So everybody knows my wife has breast cancer, right? So that's what's going on right now. And so I'll let things build, and then I'll be like, who's coming with me? You know what I mean?
I know.
Next thing you know, I get a little Jerry Maguire there for you.
Yeah, I liked it.
But that's what I do. Like I don't notice it sometimes building up. Do you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden I'll fucking snap, right? So like for example, again, don't want to, but like yesterday at work, and this is almost where that question comes in, Tim. Like this, because first thing I thought of, like things were just building up, and I didn't really feel it, and things were going slow at work, and this and that. Next thing you know, I wanted it done this way, and it needed to go this way. And why is this fucking guy so slow? And what the fuck, you know what I mean? And then patience and impatience and all that starting to happen. And then I realized that at the end, I'm like, holy fuck. Like I had to go to my office shack because I'm a consultant or whatever. So I had to go back to my shack and I literally closed the door and I closed the blinds so no one could see me. And I went, fuck. And that's what I did. And then I had to have a talk with myself because I'm like, it is what it is, Brad. Calm down. So at least I recognized that I was starting to think that way because that's where my disease to this day and probably will for the rest of my life, slowly working on it, whatever. That's what comes up and bites me in the ass. It's not the drinking. Like I don't think about drinking. I don't think about using. I'm not saying I never will, but I don't today, and I haven't up to this point. But it's the brain work. It's the stuff that I do and the stuff that how I react. You know, I can't control everything that's going on. You know what I mean? Like my expectations, like. You know, like for Tim, I'll say this with Tim. Like, so Tim runs this podcast, and Tim's a perfectionist. You know what I mean? Like, but we all have to realize what I'm saying is we have to live life on life's terms.
He's been trying to tell me that since pregame. Doesn't relax. He's right. He's not wrong.
Well, because we're all family here. We all, and that's what we all want to do. We all want to talk and help each other out, and I expect the same, and I do get the same. But once we realize that shit's gonna happen. You know, people aren't going to do the things that we might want them to do. You know what I mean? I just have to stay on my side of the road, focus on Brad fucking Mansfield, because that's quite a full-time job as it is.
It's a bit.
And you know what I mean? And that's all I can do, right? So, yeah, that's that. Anyway, that's my rant. But
I couldn't agree with you more, Brad. I could not agree with you more. Usually, you know, sometimes we tend to treat people the way we feel about ourselves. So we're not nice to people because we don't like ourselves, but we're not aware of that. We're just being a dick. You know what I mean? That's my experience. And you know, perspective comes through perseverance. We say it all the time. I'm saying it right now to all the people sitting in the treatment centers. Perspective comes through perseverance. Mark isn't as articulate and gorgeous as he is today because he gave up. He got to where he was, which isn't a great spot. None of us, if we're in recovery, we're just hanging on for dear life. We're doing podcasts and being all crazy trying to stay sober. You know, to have the perspective that Mark has and that Jimmy has and we all have, it comes through not picking up that day. And sometimes it's just that. It's just not using that day. If that's the best you can do, that's a win. But, you know, we're all working on ourselves. We're all trying to do better and trying to find out a way to do that. We love shortcuts. We love acronyms, AA, fucking this, that, and the third. There's so many things going on. The bottom line is our recoveries affect everybody around us. So if nothing else, get sober for somebody else. If that's what it takes, most of it does. We don't come to a realization to love ourselves and all the self, you know, all that shit. It's if you just need to get into treatment for a family member that you put into tears, go do it. Because there are people that watch this fucking show high as fuck and drunk out of their goddamn minds. They're sending me messages right now. It's like it is what it is. People need help. People need it. Not even advice. Like, Mark, you could come on here and say the most profound thing in the world, or you come over on and stumble like a fucking retard. It doesn't matter. We're all going to get your same message. We're going to get your.
I do that.
Well, I mean,
that's my job. That's my job.
We're just the. Sometimes you
love
just have to show up. It's my point. And we overcomplicate a lot of shit that we shouldn't. Oh, sorry. Yep, I got you.
And that's where the energy is too. There's Dustin B.
8 years for Justin B.
Justin Bieber.
My guy, he's cool. Yep, 8 years today. Way to go, Rusty Shackelford. We're very proud of you, and it was a privilege to have you on the show on Sunday, and acknowledge that with you. Because he's the kind of guy that's like, yeah, 8 years, no big deal, but it is a big deal. Way to go, Dustin.
I was gonna throw this out what you just said there, Tim, too. Like, so having Mark on tonight for me, maybe I'm being selfish, but this means the world to me, Mark. Like, me and you have a connection. I've known you all my life. You know what I mean? So to have. Oh, we got a tornado going on there.
What?
Oh, I heard a bunch. I heard a bunch of wind. Sorry, but yeah, Mark, I mean this from the bottom of my heart, buddy. I'm thankful that we got to reconnect, and how we're reconnecting because we're both fucking alcoholics and did some blow and stuff, whatever. But
don't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. But what I'm saying is I'm thankful, dude, that you're back in my life, and I'm thankful that we can do this together, right? Because it's always good to have someone, more people on the train, the better, I say, in this recovery train. So
100%.
Yeah, no, totally.
Happy for you, Mark. I'm happy at what you're doing. I'm happy you're sharing what's going on. And yeah, thankful to have you as a friend, buddy. And it's good to see you again. I mean,
100%. Yeah, I mean, and it's just your energy, like everything has just been, and like the fans love Matt Johnson. All right, let's pause the whole fucking podcast for a second. Let's talk about Matt Johnson. Matt Johnson. Matt's my childhood best friend, right? I met Matt when I was like 15. We're playing wiffle ball. He's smoking cigarettes. He's like 15, 14 years old. Matt was dealt a shitty hand in life, let's say, and Matt was a little, frail, a little weird. But he was my bestest friend ever. And I took care of him. His brother introduced me to heroin, which wasn't great. But
thanks, Matt.
I was reminded of the time I broke Matt's arm. I snapped it in half right here when we were 15, 16 years old. He hits me with a pitch and wiffle ball. So I have to charge the mound, right? You get hit with a pitch. You got to stand your ground. So I go and I tackle Matt with the old... I gave him the old shoulder to the chest and grabbed his leg and pounded him down, and I hear a snap. So I thought he falls on a branch. I'm like, oh, he must have fallen on a branch or something. He's gonna be upset. We were 12, whatever, Matt.
12.
He gets up and his arm is at a 90-degree angle, and we're all kids. We're all just like, oh, what do we do? I'm like, oh, Matt. First thing this idiot says, he said, I really like that arm. First goddamn thing he said to me. I'm like, this is crazy. We're all 12 years old. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know how to get help. He's on my porch with a broken arm, and we don't know to call 911. What do we do? I come out with ice in a rag, and I jam it on his arm. And he's like, ah! I'm like, Matt, I am so sorry. I felt so fucking bad for that. So Matt has been through a lot, but it's just nice to see him pop up live. Matt, we're all here for you. Whatever
buddy,
going on with you. And I'm sorry about your arm.
Awesome.
Nice meeting you.
He's got a huge scar going down his arm.
He's probably left-handed now. You probably really fucked him up.
Yeah. Matty J, nice to see you.
Nice meeting you, Matt.
Yeah, sorry about that. So we have people from all over, and that's just a childhood friend this season. I posted on Facebook. Me and Matt went through it. Me and Matt were fucking on heroin together. We started using heroin together. We're like, this is nice. And then we stopped using it. They're like, why are we sick? What's happening? Like, me and Matt, oh my God. So like, thank God he's alive, but like, shit, man, his brother didn't make it out unscathed. I can tell you that. So I'm glad to see you there, Matt. I'm glad you're doing okay enough to send a message. He knows if he needs me, I'm here. Mark, who in your life today is your biggest support? I know you say your father-in-law. Is there like, we're your recovery community, but like who I don't know, just throwing it out there, just an interest. I'm just interested.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, it's pretty broad question.
It is. Yep.
I'd have to say the one guy that stuck through it with me as far as a friend. Obviously, my family is very important to me, and they are a huge support, and they love me, and you know we continue to build and we continue to grow. But out of all the people that were in that intervention, friend wise, so non-family, that said, you know what, hey, just do what you got to do. We're going to be here. We're going to support you. We're going to do whatever we need to do. There's one left. And one that continued to be there and stay there no matter what. So I'd say him. He's almost like a brother. He's somebody that, you know, good, bad, or ugly, 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever. I fucked up, you know, like the old hangover. Yeah, we fucked up. That's the guy I call, right?
Yep.
So
we try to foster that environment here on the show. Like if let's just hit relapse real quick. We turn relapses into a fucking death. It doesn't need to be that. You know what I mean?
No.
Oh my God, I'm 3 years. I just lost my 3 years. That's a terrible mindset.
No.
For us.
I would say, you know, just reconnecting, like Brad was saying earlier, reconnecting with Brad and Jenny and a few other people, and you guys on the show as well. I really don't know you, Tim or Jim, that well, but I hope to over the next years or however long this goes on.
Yep.
Right?
I'm part of the family now, bud.
Yeah, no,
family,
but
buddy.
it's been absolutely mind blowing. Funny story, sorry, really quickly.
No, you're good.
I was cooking supper because my wife's back east, right? She's back with my youngest daughter and our dogs back in Annapolis Royal right now. But so I was cooking supper, FaceTiming with her, and I lost track of time. And then my phone was dinging. And I looked down at it, and it was Brad and Jenny saying, "Oh, I'm going to log in." Blah blah blah. I'm like, shit, I got to hurry up.
What time is it there, Mark?
It is 8:12.
Oh yeah, it's 10:15 here. Yep.
Yeah. So, anyways,
sorry.
long story short, I'm cooking supper. I'm on FaceTime with my wife, and I'm making these chicken sandwiches. And I'm like, honey, I gotta go. I gotta eat fast. She goes, what? And I'm like, it's podcast time. She goes, okay, fine. Fuck you and your podcast, and just hung up on me.
That's a terrible way to go. Terrible.
But
I love it.
She texted afterwards, and she goes, have fun in your podcast. Love you. Yeah.
Well, Mark, I can say from a podcast guy standpoint, you did a phenomenal job.
Bang on.
We're so grateful that you're part of our family. We don't know where this is going. We don't care where this is going. We're just happy that we get to meet people like Mark Condon, kicking off the stage. That's just how we do it. Thank you, Mark, for coming on.
I love you, Mark, buddy. Thank you so much.
He doesn't have to come on and tell fucking he just needs to come on and be him, and that's all he had to do.
And he fucking nailed it, man.
And people need to know that that's all you have to do. Just come on and be you. We'll figure something out. We'll have a laugh or two, and we'll get through it. And Mark is stronger because of this, and we're stronger because of him, and we're grateful that he came on. And that's it. That's Talking Trash. What do you say, boys? Another gooder, I'd say.
Oh, yeah. What's Jimmy say? Boy. Jimmy says, we got a pisser.
I got a pisser.
Oh, we got a pisser.
That we do. This bud is not for you.
This bud is not for you.
I think that's it for us. What do you guys... So when I asked you, it's going around a lot right now. What's the biggest gift recovery gave you? I hear it everywhere. Oh, it's the biggest gift. Everybody's got these profound answers. I have a question. What's the biggest lie recovery told you? And I'll give you a minute as I don't know, do nothing. But what's the biggest lie recovery or addiction? I'm sorry. What's the biggest lie addiction told you?
I think I'm going to stick with the same answer I think I've used a couple times because it's the truth. Like my addicted brain, my alcoholic addicted brain always told me that I could get through this, that I could make this work. You know what I mean? Because I was so good at manipulating and lying and digging my way out of a fucking hole or whatever situation I ever got into. You know what I mean? So I had more excuses I had a lot of excuses. I caught myself.
Yeah,
that was a tough one. But yeah, so I was so bad at saying that it is okay when it wasn't fucking okay. So I don't know if that's a good answer, but that's how I feel. Addiction and And you know how it spoke to me, Jimmy?
How, Brad?
In my
Please
voice?
tell me. Please tell me, Brad.
In your voice.
In my voice.
Unbelievable. Jimmy, your addiction is
No, I'm
speaking to
talking to you
everybody
now,
these days.
Brad. I'm talking to you now. This is your addiction talk.
I'll start the clown.
Sunday. It's so true. And like, as Brad said, it's so similar. Like, I can do it myself. It's not affecting anybody. I'm functioning. It's all clear sailing, right? It's just, I didn't realize all the bullshit that was happening.
Yeah.
And you asked before, how is it manifested today? Well, my addiction will always be there. It's not asking me to consume anymore, but it's asking me to be an asshole the way I used to be when I was in active addiction. So it's kind of like, it's manifesting in a totally different way. And it's like, not today, Karen. Not today, Karen.
I mean, great answer. That was the answer I was trying to get. It's different than it was yesterday.
It's not asking me to go back out and have a drink. It's like, why don't you be the biggest dick like you used to be when you were drinking, Jim? I know you got it in you. I know you still have the anger and fear and shame. So fucking bring it on. And I'm like, not today, Karen. And I just, as Brad said, sometimes you just got to go somewhere and say, fuck, and just lose it. And it's fine.
It's funny. Sure. It's funny you say that, Jim. Like, so the manifest part, like, I don't want to use, I don't want to drink. Like, I'm not, again, I can only live for the moment I'm in right now. I'm not saying I won't have an urge 10 years down the road. I don't know that. I know I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing to try to avoid that situation. But my attitude and my anger and my, I'm going to use an AA thing, my stinking thinking, whatever.
Oh, dear.
Like, all right. So that still comes out very often. But how'd you say it? You said, like, I always had that attitude when I was drinking and using. I was always an asshole and I just didn't realize it. Now that I'm sober and I don't use or drink, I love Jenny. Sorry, I love Jenny.
That's my answer too.
It's so crazy how my thinking gets in the way, right? So, but with that being said, boys and viewers, I don't have it dialed in yet, by no means, but I do recognize it when it happens.
Work in progress,
where before I didn't. Do you know what I mean? So I can work with that.
Matt, don't leave if you're still there. I talked to Becky Sokolowski the other day, Matt, my high school sweetheart. She texted me out of nowhere. Life's hard, but like I talked to her and she's like, there's plenty of people in my past that have me. I don't exist anymore. So she saw the podcast. She saw what's going on. We reconnected. Just she had a dream about me. I also had a dream about her. So it was just one of those things. Nothing like that. She's married. She's cool. But like she was like, I see what you're doing. I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, really? I'm like, this is kind of like for somebody from the outside to look in and see, oh, that's Tim. It's like high school reunion. What did you do? What are you? I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm a rock star. Well, I'm a drug addict. Like that's kind of how it is. But for her, she's a success. I've been following her success for years. Colorado, big, kids. She's beautiful, classically beautiful woman. And like I longed for like something. Like my mind wasn't right. So to have her come back into my life at a time where I would have moved to Colorado, I would have emptied my bank account, I would have given her everything I had, and she just kind of let me go instead of doing that route. Crazy Tim. And like she comes back in and she's like, you're doing something good. You got the help you needed, and life's hard. And she was very cool about it. So it was nice to hear from somebody else outside of the addiction world. It's not embarrassing what I'm doing. So because I feel like it is sometimes, but Mark,
it's definitely not. Mark, Tim, you know what you're doing, and I'm gonna fucking pump fucking tires. But
okay,
you know what? So we're all doing things for whatever reason, and we don't even know why. Do you know what I mean? Like, so something was put in front of you 227 episodes ago, and you didn't even know what it was, but you put it on screen and you talked about it, and now. I don't know how many followers we have or anything, but as long as one person out there tonight, we got 2 followers, right? So, but if somebody out there tonight hears something they needed to hear, then you fucking did exactly what you're supposed to do, Timothy. I mean that, like, because, like, whoa, boy, I lost
oh my God, Brad, are you okay?
And I caught it. I'm like an athlete, baby. But yeah, you know what I mean?
Really?
So all this got put in front of us for whatever reason. And I don't need to know the reason, but as long as we can reach out to one person and one person gets something, one sentence out of this hour and 20-minute conversation that fucking helps them, boom, mission accomplished.
Yep. I don't know what even this is. Is this a show? Is this a podcast? Is this a talk show? Are we morning radio? I just know that just by our schedule, on Sunday and Wednesday, 9 p.m., this is happening. I'll be goddamned if I can't get all 4 of you on the screen, but we're going to try. I'll be on with somebody. And I don't know, all past all, Matt, I love you, dude. God damn, I saw that kid die. I also saw people put a locust on his lip while he was sleeping, and then they woke me up to get the locust off. I pulled the locust off. It was the loudest thing I've ever heard. I was in an apartment. Matt Johnson's got some stories, boy. Me and Matt saw some shit together, but he's alive. I don't know why. He shouldn't be, but he is. And that's all of our stories. So we're all justifying why we exist and what we do and how we do it. And honestly, it fucking doesn't matter. If you're a decent person, that'll come out and you'll see that you're hurting other people. So I'll stop talking. But yeah, Jimmy, when he was talking, I was thinking of you. He's at 5 years. You're around the same amount of time sober. Yep. And he's going through stuff. I've gone through stuff with you as you went through it. I mean, could you hear him telling your story a little bit?
Excuse me. Yeah, exactly. The similarities, so similar. But being where he is now, you just got to draw that line in the sand and just say, dude, participate in your own fucking rescue.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're just throwing him an anvil by doing that codependency bullshit. And but we feel obligated to it. That's what we feel that we're going to say when we come out of treatment and we're so full of knowledge and all this shit. And you go to the 90 and 90. I can save everybody. No, save yourself. And then when you're ready, start doing stuff like this, but don't when we beat ourselves up that's the way we're wired as people with addiction, where we think we can save everybody. We can't, and we always that's a sad fact.
And we always expect more of ourselves that we can probably sometimes can't even fulfill, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my, again, expectations or whatever, I've always set the bar way fucking high, and I've never actually made the jump over that bar. So I've always been disappointed because I set my bar too high, right? And that's my alcoholic addiction brain.
Right. Did you say this because that it's expectations? I thought you were just
I did know, but I mean it is
randomly pointed.
You're doing the dizzle.
I'll do it. Let me get closer here so I can see what's going on here.
I'm not doing it yet. I'll make it full screen
for you.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just things come full circle, you know what I mean? And everything's gonna come around. What goes around comes around. We all know that. So we have dealt with everything coming around. At 2-3 years, you've dealt with the shit that come around. Now life's gonna happen. We get it. But what you did bad, you've paid for by now. Hopefully, most of us, if it's just addiction and DUIs and shit, you've paid for the bad. You can let yourself off the hook while still keeping yourself accountable. And that's why in recovery, we're so crazy to hold ourselves accountable for things and not let ourselves off the hook, because letting ourselves off the hook is why we used again and again and again and again. Holding ourselves accountable produces results. You know what I mean? So we want to do that, but it's not easy, and it's a daily fucking thing. It's changing.
And I've always said this one too, Jim and Tim. I've always said this. So I remember somebody earlier in my sobriety, and I'm sure I've shared it on the show before. But someone say to me before, well, weren't you embarrassed that you went to rehab and embarrassed to admit that you were, you're a drug addict and an alcoholic?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Right.
Guess what? What would be way more embarrassing is if I was still doing the same path that I was doing 3.5-4 years ago. You know what I mean? So I am not embarrassed about anything that I did. I'm actually proud of everything that I've done to this point, because I'm making my life better one day at a time. So I got no regrets.
There was a time, though, Brad. There was definitely a time, right? I'm not telling you.
Oh, absolutely, there was.
There was a time where you early on. It's linear. It's a process. I know for me, there was a time I was absolutely ashamed. Like that's where AA and anonymity, people can buy into that because, all right, well, I'm here, but I'm not,
Right.
and that's not a great, but that whatever gets you there is fine. But like, man, I just, it just hit me. I don't know. What do you guys think?
But I love that though, Tim, because
Yeah.
what we're doing, the three of us right now, we're talking about the point in our sobriety where we are, that we don't have that feeling anymore. So all that does is show that it's fucking worth it. And if you put the time in and you do put the work in, there are going to be days. I still have those days now, 3.5 years, where I'm like, holy fuck. But you know what? If you just keep fighting and keep working at it, it's worth it, man. It's fucking worth it. Like I'm a better person today, and I could have never said that 3.5 years ago. I actually like who I am. I'm comfortable in my own skin. And something I've never been done before.
And here's the key, Brad. You're able to like somebody else.
Yep. Because I like myself.
Right. When you hated yourself, whether you know it or not, I know for me, I hated everybody as well. Yep. When I don't hate myself, when I'm not disgusted, when I look in the mirror, I'm able to give that love to somebody else. And that's something that just happens. But, there was definitely a time, I'm sure for you, where you were ashamed of all that shit.
Yeah.
That's normal. We probably should be at some point. But if what you've accomplished in recovery is amazing. So it's worth getting on a podcast and doing crazy shit to try to get the message out there, to tell people, somebody may only take 2 words out of what happened tonight for the hour and a half we did this. Those 2 words might stick with them. I know I've experienced that very thing. So
and what you just said too, Tim, like I like myself now, so I can like other people. Like, and man, to have that even have my recovery even trickle effect or reflect onto my family, like, you know what I mean?
Project,
like, so
project. I think
project. There you go. Like, and I like to believe this now. Like, I feel like I'm closer with my wife than I ever have been because I'm open with her, and like I feel like like that trust is coming back, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
just by default, you're better.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can love stronger. I don't even know if that even makes sense, but when I tell somebody I mean something, it's because I actually fucking mean it. I'm not just telling you what I need you to hear. When I, you know what I mean? I'm genuine about it. Like, you know what I mean?
People know that shit too, Brad. And like, people have found us through your orbit, and like, they instantly trust us. They listen to us. They subscribe to us just because of you and how you are. So if you're passionate and serious about something, that is going to get people's attention. That's your gift, and that's what you're giving back, and that's what you're experiencing the fruits of, is giving that gift back and how it feels to help other people. You're doing it. I'm so proud of you. You're not the new guy anymore. You're no longer only 3 years sober. You're a rock star. And if you can only come on for 4 minutes while you're taking a shit in the middle of nowhere, Albert or Nova Scotia, whatever, you're welcome to. It doesn't matter. We do 8 shows a month.
I sent one selfie of me taking a shit, and we got to bring that out now.
And we have to share that with our viewers.
Well, it was 5 minutes ago, so it's topical.
Shit is now gone. Shit.
So like, it's just, I don't know. It doesn't matter how much or how little you give, Brad, or what you say. It's that you're doing it.
Absolutely.
It's the effort that's notable, and that goes for everybody on this goddamn show. This show is fueled by 4 idiots from all over the goddamn North America, and we have impacts in Saskatchewan, and we have impacts in New Jersey, and we have impacts in Georgia a little bit. Like, but that shit is just spreading. Bethany's in Wisconsin with Tony Romo, and like, it's all like,
and Jenny and them in Nova Scotia, way across the country. Like, it's crazy how it's spread, right?
Yep.
It's crazy.
But I don't know. And like, I was thinking about this the other day, like how I'm thinking about the time when this show is over with and we're just doing something else in our lives. I couldn't actually think about that as a real thing. It didn't. I feel like I'm going to do this until I'm dead. I feel like that's the commitment that I've made to this. I'm not going anywhere. My life's not changing. This show stays. So like, I'm just going to keep doing this because it helps me. Not every every minute of the hour and a half is going to be fucking spot on. That's a great advice, Brad. You've been giving me for 2.5 hours now. I'm going to try and not take myself so seriously.
I love you, Tim.
But I have OCD, and I am a perfectionist to my detriment, to the point where I'll overdo it and blow it. So Jimmy, I'm aware, but I also come up with cool shit in that process.
Yes, you do.
But that's where all of us as addicts, that bar, we said it. We got every one of us is guilty of doing it.
You know unattainable because
I see the bar up there. I just can't reach it. Right?
I'm not good enough. I'm not tall enough to get to that ball. Get a fucking step ladder. Build your own way to get to the bar.
Get a Blair step ladder.
That's like I always used to say too about the half glass full thing. I love that one actually. You know, if I wake up that morning and my glass is half empty and not full, I just get a fucking smaller glass. I get a small.
In closing here on Talkin' Trash Podcast, we read an NA traditional reading called Just for Today.
Just for today.
This is the moment I break through. I'm coming.
There it is.
I'm coming.
Just for my dizzle,
All right, just for today is expectations. Oh my God. All right. Bradley, go on, buddy boy.
Go, buddy.
Just for today, expectations. As we realize our need to be forgiven, we tend to be more forgiving. Basic text, page 39. Our behavior toward other people in our life is a mirror of our behavior towards ourselves. When we demand perfection of ourselves, we come to demand it from others around us too. As we strive to repair and heal our lives in recovery, we may also expect others to work just as hard and to recover at the same pace as we do. And just as we are often unforgiving of our own mistakes, we may shut out friends and family members when they don't meet our expectations. Working the steps helps us understand our own limitations and our humanity. We come to see our failures as human mistakes. We realize that we will never be perfect, that we will at times disappoint ourselves and others. We hope for forgiveness as we learn to gently accept ourselves. We can start to view others with the same accepting and tolerant heart. These people too are only these people too are only human, trying to do their best and sometimes falling short.
Just for the dizzle, my nizzle for shizzle.
Oh, yeah,
just for today, I will treat others with the tolerance and forgiveness I seek for myself.
Pretty much everything we were saying. It always happens, doesn't it? Like everything we're talking about just gets wrapped up in fucking just for today. All right, so let's see. Let's pay the bills here. On Sunday. We have
Sunday.
Tommy Wilkes. How very exciting that is.
I'm excited to meet him, you guys.
Wilkes, he's a good dude. He's been talking to me a little bit because he's coming on. But Tommy was a host, and he's a good Free the Lifetime friend. He just went to New York City and saw fish. He's a deadhead. He's very weird, but he's very cool, and he'll always be a friend. So we'll see him on Sunday. That'll be 228. Narcan keeps you from dying. If you're dying from an overdose, it makes that not happen. 988. If you feel like killing yourself, don't. Or at least talk to them first, and see if your logic is sound. 1-800-GAMBLER if you're like me and every other addict. If you're new in recovery, which you probably are, Meeting Finder and Meeting Search, and you can count your days. The best resource in recovery is trash-podcast.com.
Oh, yeah.
Go there. It's Sunday. Tommy Wilkes.
Everybody out there, recovery centers, Mark Condon for coming on.
Yeah, Mark Condon. That's what I wanted to thank
all you guys, all you viewers, man, oh man, we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. You guys are healthy. You guys are healthy for our recovery. So thank you to every one of you guys.
100%. And I gotta just stop and say to Mark Condon, Thank you for coming on. He sent a message after I kicked him out of the studio. I don't know how to end an interview. It doesn't have like an end interview button. It's just like
it's like and stand on the exit. Goodbye.
That's okay. Stand on the exit.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh my god, my entire life is standing on the X, looking at a circle going around. Mark, don't do graphic design if you're OCD and ADHD. That's it. That's us. We'll be back on Sunday at 9 p.m.
Recover out loud, baby.
Oh yeah.
Recover out loud.
There's no place like